Hello, everybody, and welcome to From the Mezzanine, the Broadway podcast for the Broadway fans, where we talk about all things Broadway news, Broadway grosses, and let's be honest, all of the tea and gossip that happens week to week in the Broadway stratosphere. And today, you guys, I just can't go too long without having Josh Rosen on the pod.
And I can't go too long without being on the pod. So it's a symbiotic relationship, if we're being honest.
It certainly is. Josh, how have you been?
I've been fabulous.
Yes.
Lindsey and I have had a lot of show dates recently.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having a lot of fun in the theater.
Yes, and we're going to chat about it, primarily Big Gay Jamboree. You guys, should we talk about this first and then talk about the flea?
I feel like, yeah.
Oof. This show, I have not laughed this hard since Gutenberg, the musical, you guys.
Which is saying a lot.
I loved it. What was your takeaway?
I loved it. I knew I was going to love it the second that we saw a twink and a redhead sit down across the aisle from us.
A twink and a redhead. True.
And no, I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. I actually liked it more than I liked Titanic.
I did too.
Just by a smudge. I think the original music really hit it for me. And they hold no bars. Like, anything that they want to put out there, they put out there. Like, some of the jokes, I was like, can you even make that joke? But
it was
you
insane.
can, because it's all in good taste.
Yes, and the original music was amazing. Let's tell them the synopsis, a general synopsis. Now, Josh was warning me. He knows I have my young girlies on here, my young listeners. And you said perhaps this is 16 plus?
I would say a solid 16 plus.
Okay, because in my opinion, I'm 21 plus. Or 25 plus, your frontal lobe needs to be formed. But that's a little extreme. I came from a very conservative background.
Right.
So seeing this, I was like, oh my God, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I agree. I liked it more than Titanic. And that's also saying a lot because I loved Titanic.
Yeah.
But this is just super relevant now. And all of the references are what is happening in the zeitgeist currently. Okay, so synopsis. This girl, she wakes up and she is in the middle of a musical. It is giving Barbie. It is very Barbie coded.
Yes,
it is from the producers of Barbie, right?
Yes.
And it's a 1945's Schmigadoon-esque musical, very Schmigadoon coded. And the innuendos are abound.
Oh, they're there.
I'm like, what can we say?
They're there. It is so unhinged to the point where it's actually hard to explain the plot beyond what you said.
Yeah. Maybe that's enough. From that point forward, she's trying to figure out how to get out of the musical. And she realizes we just have to commit to the bit. And eventually we will go through the motions of a musical. And then eventually we should get out. And then it just takes a sharp left turn. And you're like, where are we? What is happening? This is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was actually so funny. There were just times when I'm sure you heard me because I have such a loud laugh, but I'd just be so loud because it was so funny. And the whole cast also is giving. Everyone in that cast is so freaking talented.
The voices, my favorite was the gospel singer. It must have been Paris Nix, who was my favorite, the gospel singer. The voice of a freaking angel, and his songs were so good. I also, Alex Moffat is in this show, who is from SNL fame. I was shocked to find that out. He plays deadbeat, washed up billionaire boyfriend of the lead actress.
He plays the straight man.
Yeah, and he's in all the flashbacks until he's not. Wink, wink. And then it's written and starred by Marla Mendel. Just a talent of this lifetime, one
Genius.
of the greatest. I can't even imagine what it's like to perform in this show every single night and to do it the way she does. Freaking hilarious.
So much energy too.
And a lot of improv.
A lot of improv.
Yeah.
A lot of improv.
Yeah, be careful what seat you're sitting in because you might get called on stage. It was just freaking amazing.
It was so good. It was, honestly.
One of the best things I've seen. I'm in my off-Broadway era.
We're both in our off-Broadway era right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With this, Empire Records, it's happening.
We
the
love
amazing
Empire
stuff
Records,
is happening
yeah.
off-Broadway.
Yeah. Go off-Broadway.
Seriously. Go off-Broadway.
True.
Anything else you want to say about Big Gay Jamboree?
Oh, I don't even know. I feel like this is the cool show downtown. And
Yes.
I feel like this is going to become the cool show downtown. And I feel like it's going to get really, really popular.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were lucky that we were gifted tickets during the first week. But sorry, just had to
Subtle flex.
throw that little thing in
Subtle.
there. But yeah, I mean, this thing's going to get super popular.
Yes,
so
it
I would
is.
hop on it now.
Get your tickets now, for real. Like, this is not an ad. If you just want to have a good time, and go with your besties, perhaps not like your grandmother.
Yeah, and unless your parents are like super cool and chill, I wouldn't go with your parents either.
Would you bring your parents?
I would bring my parents, but like my parents are like hippies, so
yeah,
I don't know.
And they would like it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It was crazy. Who else did you say was in the audience?
Matt Rogers of Las Culturistas.
I didn't even see him.
Sitting right in front of us. I was gonna tell him I'm a reader, but I was like too scared to like interact.
Is that what they call their fans?
Their listeners? They call them readers.
Oh, I need a good name for my fans. I just call my fans. LOL, that sounds so crazy. Just like
you could
FTM
call them like
girlies.
mezzanинers. Ew, no, never
No.
mind. Pretend I didn't
always
say
call them
that.
Broadway Besties.
That's
like, hey,
cute.
Broadway Besties.
Broadway Besties. Broadway Besties.
But it's not affiliated with like FTM. Sound off in the comments, you guys.
Neeners.
Neeners?
Like mezzaniners. Neeners.
No, that's crazy. Mezzanine is just such a long word. Like, how do you like riff off of it? Mezzan.
Or they could be like FTMers, but spelled EFFTEE.
Like a proper word.
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, you guys can name yourselves. I always just call y'all Broadway Besties or FTM listeners, and you know what? That's okay with me. Okay, Slay. Love Big Gay Jamboree. One of my favorite things that I have seen in freaking forever. I genuinely mean it when I say this. I cannot wait to go back, and I haven't laughed this hard since Gutenberg, so I will be back. And do you think it's going to run for a minute? You think, because right now it's running till January, right?
I think it's going to go on an open run and just kind of be around. I feel like it'll be at the Orpheum. I don't think it's going to like leave the Orpheum. I feel like
it was a nice theater.
It's a nice theater. It's really small. I think it's just going to stay there forever.
Yeah. But not like, honestly, like Titanic's theater is a little funky because it's not really like real seating. Like
it's a warehouse.
It is.
It looks like a warehouse. Meeting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Like more like a black box sort of feel. This was like a little nicer.
This was like an actual theater.
Off-Broadway theaters are so interesting. Like you never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, but this one was a slay. Let's talk about the Broadway Flea, you guys. Best day. I'll say my piece, and then Josh will say his.
Yes.
I had so much fun meeting you guys. I literally got emotional. I was like, this is like an out-of-body experience. Let me tell you, Josh, last year I met one listener. This year I feel like I probably met at least like 25.
Wow.
It was
huge.
like such a big difference. And even if they were like, oh, hey, I listen to your podcast or something like really quick or like, oh, it was just so cool.
So cool.
And it was so nice to meet some of you guys, and it like warmed my heart in a way you cannot even understand. So if you said hi, thank you. And I love you dearly. How was your experience at the Broadway Flea?
Okay, I had fun. Like, I don't want to like make it sound like I didn't like it because I had fun and I met again so many also of people who follow me on TikTok or Instagram. I met a lot of members of the Hairspray Community Awareness Task Force.
Oh,
that was huge.
That's huge.
That was really huge.
Yeah.
It was a bit too crowded for me.
It was insane, chaotic.
They usually close off the streets. They didn't do that this year. They closed off the sidewalks.
Do they usually?
Yes.
I don't remember them doing that last year, but maybe they did.
I wasn't there last year, or I wasn't there in 2022 either. But
they have to close the street.
I went in high school several times, and they always would. It would just be like a closed street, booths also in the middle of the street. That way you could, like, walk.
That's so necessary.
I guess it's like hard to close the streets on a Sunday in Times Square.
Yeah,
but to me, I'm like, then don't have it in Times Square. I don't know.
Yeah, don't have it in Times Square. Like that's what our takeaway was too, because you could not move on the sidewalk. It was like a cattle drive. Like you just couldn't move at all. You couldn't get to the table. There were like these long lines. Like the poor people at the Outsiders line, they waited for like 45 minutes, but then there were people just like walking up to the table. Like there would be a line, and then there would be plenty of people who could just like walk right up to the table. It wasn't organized in a good fashion at all. And yeah, it was just so overrun with people. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you stayed for a lot longer than I
stayed
did,
all day,
so.
quite literally. But we were just having so much fun. And like anytime we would be like, okay, like we're tired, then we would like see something else and get excited. Like that probably happened for like 4 hours. Like Brent and I were like, yeah, no, I think I'm good. And then we'd be like, wait, this table. And like we'd spend an hour thumbing through playbills.
Literally, like in the budgeting era. I was in my budgeting era, so I had to like.
You didn't buy anything.
I bought one thing.
What'd you get?
I bought an original Damn Yankees playbill from the 50s, which is sick.
That's really cool.
It's so cool.
That is really cool.
But I have enough Broadway memorabilia that I feel like there wasn't anything I was like, I need this.
Me
I
neither.
also was gonna get a Nice Work If You Can Get It cut because that was like the first musical that made me obsessed with theater.
Aww.
But I decided not to because it was a bit expensive.
How much was it?
It was like $15.
Oh yeah, just for like a show cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
silly.
doing that. But yeah, it was great. It was great to meet so many people. That was cool to be in an environment where like people are turning left and right, knowing who you are. Is like really freaking cool.
Yeah, no, it was insane. I did not find a lot of things that I needed either. I know some of y'all are gonna be shocked. I didn't feel like the incessant need to like buy a $50 notebook at the Outsiders booth. Like if you did, like I hear you, I see you, and I relate. But for some reason, I just like, since I moved to New York, I'm so minimalistic now. And like, I don't believe in like things. Like I don't need things, you know? And so I just was like, I just didn't feel the need. I've seen the show so many times. I'm like, well, that makes me sound so silly. But I just, yeah, I'd rather buy tickets to the show than like a $50 notebook, you know? But that was cool. I will say the Outsiders booth had a lot of really awesome items like the Pony Boy letter or the soda letter, Sky's letter, like Johnny's letter. And then those notebooks were really cool. They had some crazy stuff. And whenever we went over to the booth, Dan Barry, shout out, Dan Barry was over there. So we were like, hey, Dan. Anyways, he was like stressing really hard because they were like, Dan, sign this, Dan, over here. And it was just crazy intense. But a lot of the cast members cycled through. So that was really cool. Bryn bought Soda's letter because that's her favorite like song in the show.
Oh, that's
so,
great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
had
and
a
it was
bunch to
like
sell
written
from, like,
and
every
signed.
performance.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
no,
cool.
that was really, really cool. This is the only thing that I bought for myself. If you want to see my entire haul, it's on my TikTok. But I bought things for people who listen to this podcast but do not have TikTok. So I cannot say what I bought them, or else they'll hear it and it's a surprise. So I will only show y'all this Tony playbill that is a little crazy. So I was really searching for this last year. I really, really wanted, first of all, I'm the biggest fan of Tony's ever. Like I love everything Tony's, like Tony memorabilia. That is the stuff that I would drop coin on. So last year I was exclusively looking for this year. It is 2004, the year Avenue Q won, but who should have won, Josh?
Wicked.
Amen. And so whenever I found it, I was like, oh my God, I've been looking for this. I'm so excited. But Idina Menzel won for Best Actress in this Tony playbill. But I noticed, oh yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is like the, this was inside of it. This is the invitation and like their tickets and stuff.
That's so cool. So I can't believe someone would just give that away.
I know, right? It's really cool. It was at Radio City Music Hall that year. Sorry, if y'all are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see. But if you're just listening on the podcast, I'm sorry, you can't see. But yeah, how cool is that?
That's sick, dude.
There's the tickets themselves. Yeah, that's really cool. They were on aisle B, row N, seat 106 for the Antoinette Perry Awards at Radio City Music Hall on June 5th, 2004. So slay, that's crazy. And then I noticed that there were signatures in it. Now, I have since realized, I thought it was Hugh Jackman's signature. And I posted that on TikTok because I fully thought it was. And I have since found out that it is actually Hunter Foster's signature, who, I don't know, did he originate Seymour and Little Shop?
So there was a Broadway production of Little Shop that ran from like fall of 2003 to like late summer of 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was with Hunter Foster and Carrie Butler.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is he cool? I've never even like heard of him.
Hunter Foster.
Is this like cool that I have a signature or no?
Yeah, no, it is. He was also like in
Okay,
Urinetown. Who else is? So then there's Boy from Oz. Oh my God, wait, that was my first Broadway show.
Aw, no
Fiddler
way.
on the Roof with Alfred Molina. Hell yeah.
That's crazy. But as you can see, Hugh Jackman's like directly below him. So I fully thought it was Hugh Jackman's signature, and their signatures look a lot alike. Still cool, but not Hugh Jackman's signature. So anyways, that was a really interesting find. But that's all that I got for myself at the Broadway Flea. I didn't feel the need to like buy a ton of stuff, but I had the time of my life just looking at everything. Like honestly, that's the most fun thing for me.
Oh, just like looking through everything and getting the chance to like touch everything is very cool.
And like I found like a really like I always say this wrong, like Lysistrata Jones. You know what I'm talking about?
That show fascinates me.
It fascinates me too. It was Barrett Wilbert Weed's first Broadway show, but she was only an understudy. And I don't even like if it got out of previews, it was for like a hot second. Like it immediately closed. And I found a playbill for it. I was like, this is so cool.
Wow.
I didn't buy it, but I was like, that's cool.
No, Lysistrata Jones
was
like a high school like teen musical, right? Like didn't do super well.
But it was based on like Lysistrata,
like the Greek goddess.
Yeah.
So interesting.
It is very interesting. So that was cool because I used to, I don't know, that was like in the FTM lore once upon a time. I did research for that show. So anyways, Slay, anything else you want to speak your piece on for Broadway Fleet? Next year, Close Down the Streets.
Close Down the Streets.
Hello?
Or like maybe sell timed tickets or like reserve time tickets. Those are the only
that would be crazy.
two solutions I could imagine.
People would hate that.
No, yeah, everyone would hate that.
People would really
but
hate
everyone
that.
complains about everything. Like you can never please
it was
people
really,
here.
Like people were really aggressive. I couldn't believe it. Like just pushing and shoving. And I was like, it's crazy for you to just shove me and not say sorry. Like, yes, it's packed to the gills. You shove me and it's an accident. It's fine. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Because there were so many people. I mean, elbows were being thrown. Like,
it was bad.
The attitudes were intense there.
Broadway fans can be intense.
Can be.
I don't have any shame in saying that. Not every Broadway fan. Not you
lovely
guys. Listeners.
Not you guys. But that I was just a little stunned by that.
Me too.
Anywaysies, shall we get into the Broadway grosses?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the Broadway grosses. Okay, this is for the week ending on September 22nd. At the top of the list, you guys, we have The Lion King. Now, this is interesting because Wicked has been leading the pack for the past few weeks. Not sure why Lion King is at the top. Wicked actually only had a capacity of 85% last week, which feels very low.
Well, the Gershwin is huge.
This is true, but
and
last week they had 97%.
The thing about the Gershwin, though, is it's so big and so many tourists will pay the full price.
Yeah.
Which is expensive for Wicked. Like,
that's why
extra.
I didn't see it until the 20th.
Yeah, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just kind of shook by that. Hamilton is 3. You guys, this might be a record. The Outsiders is 4.
Huge. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. $1.3 million this past week. And they're back over 100% capacity. They've been faltering just a little bit. But yeah, they have 100.7% capacity. Those ticket prices, you guys, they are skyrocketing. Just skyrocketing. It's crazy. My family's visiting in like mid-October. And so we were going to buy tickets in advance. The first time I've actually bought tickets and not rushed the show.
Wait, when are you going? Because my parents are going in 2 weekends.
We are going on October 18th.
Okay, I think my parents are going on like the 13th.
Oh.
Or they're going on the Sunday. Yeah, soon. Yeah.
Okay, slay. Well, that's exciting for them.
Very.
Love that. Yeah, so slay. Good job, Outsiders. Y'all are killing the game. I wish you were more affordable, but you know what? I'm very happy that you are as successful as you are. Hell's Kitchen has now been bumped down to 5, and McNeil is 6, guys. We were tracking this last week because it was insane. They had like 3 performances in the grosses and they were already like really, really high. Have you heard a lot about McNeil?
I know nothing about it except that it's about AI.
Yes, and obviously Hugh Jackman and Melora Harding.
You mean Robert Downey Jr.?
Wait, yes, Robert Downey Jr. Oh my God. Hugh Jackman is on my mind.
Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr., Melora Harding from The Office, who I did not see at the Broadway Flea, tragically. And I have tickets to go and see this at the end of October. I've heard poor things. People say it's like insanely boring. But you know what? I'll be the judge of that.
What's up with the pattern of boring shows going into the Vivian Beaumont? Like, respectfully, like
with the like major celebrities at the forefront.
Camelot.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Vanya.
I missed the King and I revival, and I missed the My Fair Lady revival, and I'll say that.
You missed them or you missed them?
No, I missed them. Like, I saw them and I loved them, and I wish they could still be at the Vivian Beaumont.
I've never seen a show here, actually, so I'm excited.
It's a great
to
venue.
go.
They're it's stadium style seating. It's really great.
Ooh.
It's really great.
I'm very excited to see it, mainly because of Robert Downey Jr. So McNeil is still in previews, guys. So I expect this to increase even further, which
unless
is
the reviews
just
are
crazy.
bad.
Unless the reviews are bad, which I feel like they will be. Everything I've seen on TikTok has not been favorable. At 7, we have Oh Mary just killing the game. They have 100% capacity.
Always.
They're doing so well. They just extended their run again. You guys go see this show. MJ is at 8, Moulin Rouge is at 9, and Cabaret has bumped down to 10. Now, that is shocking. It's Adam Lambert and Ali'i Cravalho. They have joined the cast. Last week, it bumped up. I think it was third last week. And I was like, this is what I predicted. I thought that Adam Lambert and Ali'i were going to like really increase the grosses by a lot because I feel like they're more like American known in like terms of celebrity and like status than Eddie Redmayne and Gail Rankin. But this is proving that perhaps that's not the case.
I also think it might be one of those things where it might like take a minute for like word to get out about how good they are in it. Kind of the same way The Outsiders had to gain a little bit of traction. Like The Outsiders used to be on CKTS for like the first 2 weeks of previews.
Yeah.
And then people were like, wait, it's really good. I feel like people are going to start saying that about specifically Owly and Adam in Cabaret, and people are going to start going.
So you saw Cabaret. Can you tell us about it?
I saw their second performance.
That's crazy.
And my mom won the lottery. Shout out, Mom. It was so... Have you seen it yet?
No.
Okay. It was so cool. It's like an immersive experience. You can get there like an hour before. There's all this stuff happening. It's really timely in a really weird, freaky way.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow. Like all the themes, anti-Semitism, World War II, they all kind of relate back to what's happening in the world today. It's very interesting. And it's a very good show. Also, I would say this one, like, I know it like comes off as like more like adult. I think you could take like your 12 or 13-year-old to see this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a question. So Cabaret was in Tony Revival category. You saw that and you've seen Merrily, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like Merrily rightfully won now that you've seen Cabaret?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
I really enjoyed Merrily. And then the other were what? Gutenberg and Tommy.
Yes.
Which, by the way, just real quick, loved Tommy, okay? Ate up Tommy. Tommy was great. Justice for the Who's Tommy.
Never saw it. Anyways.
I love it.
Yeah, I want to see Cabaret in the Kit Kat Club. I won the lottery actually the weekend or like the performance when we got tickets to go and see Empire Records, so I couldn't go, which was like honestly so tragic because I've been entering that lottery religiously, but it gives me hope that I might win again. So enter the lottery for Cabaret if you don't want to pay $300 for a ticket. Okay, that rounds out our grosses. Let's take a quick little glance at what's at the bottom. I hate to do it, but honestly, we have to prepare ourselves.
Poor Job.
I'm excited for the show. I'm seeing it though. I'm seeing it this week.
Job?
Yeah.
Oh my God, when?
October 1st.
Oh my God, you're gonna love it. I'm sure it's great.
I'll give you my contact.
Please.
You can get tickets. I know you can. Okay, The Notebook is also at the bottom, guys. 74%. It's just not happening for them.
So sad.
Yeah, unfortunately. The Roommate is also not grossing a lot. The booth is teeny tiny, but it's kind of surprising. This was the week, though, that Mia Farrow was out, I think, because she was out for almost an entire week. So that explains it. We'll have like true grosses next week. So don't worry about this too much. I want to see The Roommate.
I do too. I heard Patti LuPone rolls a J. So I really love the idea of that. So yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Back to the Future is at the bottom. They only had 61% capacity last week. That's actually crazy.
They're going down the tank.
But guess what's even lower? Guys, like this is literally making me crawl in my skin reading these numbers. Water for Elephants had 56% capacity, you guys.
Wait, are you surprised though?
No, yes. 56% capacity is crazy. That's literally almost like half of the theater is empty. Like, doesn't that like make you so sad for the actors? Like, yes, I can't imagine performing to a like a half empty theater every night. That's
extremely
tragic.
But like it makes sense. Like I saw it a few weeks ago. Oof. It was Grant Gustin's last week, and everyone there was like there because they were like a tourist and they liked The Flash and they wanted to see Grant Gustin.
I know.
So
yes, I agree fully.
I don't know. My thing is I don't really like Water for Elephants as a show that much.
I don't either.
But I think the cast is amazing and they're giving those acrobatics are freaking insane. Like insane. Like the stuff that they do and the strength and the way that guy goes up on the pole horizontally.
I know, it's so cool.
I was like, how did he do that?
I know, it's so cool.
It's a gorgeous show.
It wasn't
visually
ready for Broadway. Like they made the wrong choice, unfortunately, and this is an indication of that. Like they should have either stayed off Broadway. Like it just was not ready. It wasn't thought out enough. The music wasn't.
They should have got new composers. It would have been great with some great composers.
It literally kills me that these shows open and close like that. Like it hurts physically. It's just not right. These things should be more calculated in coming to Broadway. And I know you literally never know if something's gonna be a hit or not. But when you see this show, you know it wasn't ready. And so it's just like
it's hard.
Like we know that, you know, so the producers and people like that should know it as well. But anyways, I just think it's tragic and I hate to see shows close so soon.
It seems to be hitting strings though with an older audience because the critics really liked it. Like the New York Times really liked it. And my grandparents really liked it. Adults, like middle-aged older people, seem to be liking it. So maybe it's just a generational thing. Like maybe it just doesn't resonate with us the same way. But
you know what? I feel like you might be right. Anyways, guys, that is our Broadway grosses for this week. I'm excited for next week in order to see where Cabaret falls. I hope that it increases. Honestly, like I'm just rooting for this casting team.
Me too.
Let's get into our Broadway news, Josh. This is all a surprise for Josh. He has no idea what we're chatting about. First up, my favorite piece of news this week, you guys. We got the all-in casting that we were waiting for. So what we know is this is a 10-week show at the Hudson, right? Hudson?
Yes. Hudson, my favorite theater.
And we knew that John Mulaney was going to have his cast of characters and he would be leading the first 5 weeks. But would you just guess who's doing the second half? It is Lin Manuel Miranda, you guys. Lin Manuel Miranda is leading the second half of All In, a comedy about love.
Crazy.
I'm dead. And guess who he has in tow? Just a little guy named Andrew Rannells. Just the king of my entire freaking world, Andrew Rannells. As well as Aidy Bryant, who y'all know from SNL, Sam Richardson, Jimmy Fallon. I definitely need to see him. David Cross, who you know from Alvin and the Chipmunks. Josh is cackling.
Honestly, that's who I'm going for.
Are you gonna really? Like him exclusively?
No, but like if I go, like, which I don't, like I'll see how much tickets are, whatever. If I go, I feel like I'm gonna have to go to the stage door and like bring an Alvin and the Chipmunks poster.
We could like, the witch doctor. We should like perform.
The same way I like want to bring a Pussycat Dolls poster to Sunset Boulevard. Like the same way.
Absolutely. So David Cross. Who even was he? He was like the evil guy in Alvin and the Chipmunks. Tim Meadows, who y'all know from Mean Girls, and Hank Azaria, who y'all know from The Night at the Museum.
And Homer Simpson.
Oh, okay. I don't watch that.
Okay, yeah.
But slay. So that is a great group of people. I will be going for Andrew Rannells, duh. Like we will pay whatever it costs. I love it. Because like, you know, Reed is obsessed with Gutenberg too. That's like our show. It's my favorite thing when he's like, he finds something out about a show and he's like, well, we have to go. I'm like, I love you. Like, you're the man for me, you know? Right. So Andrew Rannells for sure. And then I would also love to see Jimmy Fallon. Like, I would really love. I love Lin Manuel Miranda and Jimmy Fallon's like friendship, like bromance.
Do you think he's going to be like, Jimmy Fallon is like, gives off a weird vibe to me sometimes.
Yeah, people say that.
I don't know. Sorry.
I blindly love him.
No, I love him. I think he's a great interviewer.
But so many people are like, what Reed said, if he were in here, he'd be like, Andrew Rannells says one thing, ha 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 ha, like that's Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
But I just love Jimmy Fallon, so it's fine. I'm fine. I will be seeing both of them, hopefully. And it's Lin Manuel Miranda. I hope that they do Rush, truly. The concept for the show is kind of crazy, though. You know, it's just they're going to be like reading short stories that were written by this guy from The New Yorker. Like that's what they're doing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's really interesting, but it's like funny.
It's called All In, Comedy About Love, and they're a bunch of comedians, so of course it has to be funny. I feel like Lin Manuel Miranda is a great choice to lead it, but he's kind of an interesting choice. Like I feel like Jimmy Fallon would have been a more obvious choice to lead it because like you have John Mulaney, okay, you have Jimmy Fallon, or like an SNL cast member. Like Lin Manuel Miranda is kind of surprising because he's not a comedian, right? Like that's kind of like
exactly
kind of surprising to me. But obviously I'm happy about it. I'm going to get to see Lin Manuel Miranda perform on a stage. I've never done that before.
Oh my God, right? Because you didn't see Hamilton with him.
I'm going to die. Like literally I'm going to be like in the audience. Like
breathing into a paper bag.
Yeah, no.
The same way I'm going to be throwing up before the Wicked movie. So.
Same way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same vibe. I'm super excited about this. So Lin is going to be on from January 14th to February 16th. So literally a month. It's not long at all. But I'm excited. I feel like this is really unique. I love unique things that come to Broadway because I feel like it's just so refreshing.
I agree. This is very different and I love that. So the Hudson's always really good about bringing different things.
Constantly too.
Yeah. Just for Us.
Yeah.
All of it. So,
I wish I would have seen that.
So good.
I really wish I would have seen that.
So good.
I really liked Alex Edelman at the Tonys. I asked him like multiple questions.
He was probably so nice.
He was so nice.
Yeah.
I really liked him. I was really sad I didn't get to see that show. Who are you most excited for on this list?
I am most excited for Aidy Bryant. I freaking love her.
Little baby Aidy.
Yes. I love her. She's always been my favorite SNL cast member. I was devastated when she left. I'm excited she's having a second act in this. So,
I would love to see her do more on Broadway. And you guys, like, this is not a coincidence. If she is doing this, it makes me believe she might continue to do more on Broadway.
Why is she low-key perfect for Big Gay Jamboree?
Who would she be?
The lead.
The lead?
If she could sing, I don't know her chops. Her
I wonder if
chops.
she can actually sing. Yeah, that would be great.
It'd be insane.
Yeah, I love her too.
Yeah.
So you'll probably go to see her?
Yeah, I'm gonna go definitely when she's in it. She's my favorite off of this list, so for sure.
So I'm really confused because all the people that we named, they're only in it for like a certain amount of time. So some overlap and some don't. So this looks like Andrew Rannells and Aidy would overlap, right? Because he's through January 6th, she's through February 2nd. So actually,
January 26th.
Oh, yeah.
January 6th is the bad day.
Oh my God, that's why I said it. It's like ingrained in my brain. Oh my God.
Also, wait,
speaking
of January 6th, I saw this really interesting play called Fatherland.
Oh,
at New York City Center.
Yeah.
And I was like randomly invited. I was like, I'll go. It was great.
Really? I should go.
It's about a boy who is from Texas and basically outs his father to the FBI about his actions in January 6th.
Yes, okay. And you'd recommend it?
Oh, it's so good. It's
okay,
like
I'll go.
I was locked in. It's like
they've been in my messages and I haven't.
You should go.
Okay,
it's like watching, those like really fascinating true crime documentaries where you're like,
ooh.
It's like that. And it's a court case. Like you're watching a court case.
But it was entertaining.
Oh, it is so good.
Okay, if it was entertaining for you, like
so
I feel
good.
like I'll like it.
You're gonna love it. If you like true crime, you'll love this stuff.
Okay, love. So this is very exciting. Next piece of Broadway news this week is another bit of casting news. It is the casting news that we have all been dying to find out. And honestly, I was surprised. It's the Gypsy casting news, guys. We found out that Notebook co-stars Joy Woods and Jordan Tyson are going to be playing Louise and June.
Which is so special for them, by the way.
Very
so special
beautifully
at their
special.
age, starting their careers, getting to hop like this together.
Yes.
They've got to be like sisters at this point. I mean, they've got to
they
literally
have to
be
like,
right?
Wouldn't that be crazy if they like hated each other?
There's no way. They're definitely like actually best friends.
Yeah, or else this wouldn't have happened. Everybody was anticipating Joy Woods. Jordan Tyson was kind of a surprise.
What I will say is they posted pictures the day before of like the silhouettes of their headshots, and we all know what their headshots look like. So I was like,
could they be more obvious?
Like it was so obvious.
Yeah.
Even the Danny Burstein I was able to like decipher.
Yeah, so that's also a piece of news that we found out like last week is that Danny Bernstein will be playing Herbie. I love Danny Bernstein from Moulin Rouge, Hello Chickens. Obsessed. I don't really like know who his character is in Gypsy. Who's Herbie?
Herbie is the husband.
Oh, like Audra's husband?
Or
Gypsy's
I forget
husband?
if it's her dad or her husband.
Oh, yikes.
It's one of them. But
know.
basically, no, it's definitely her husband. Because I think what they're trying to do is since she favors one child over the other and like the whole like mixed race of it all, it's going to be very interesting.
Oh,
it's going to be a very interesting take on Gypsy. And Audra I cannot wait to hear Audra sing that score.
Yeah, same. What I'm disappointed in is there was so much chatter online about Keke Palmer. Yeah, the church bells are going off. Y'all can hear that. That Keke Palmer was going to be in this show. I wanted that so bad. Like, I love Keke Palmer. That would have been so exciting. Joy Woods, of course, she's amazing. Everybody's loved watching the growth of her career and the trajectory of it. Just like endlessly being incredible. So this is a huge role for her and Jordan to get, but I'm like, dang it, I wish Keke was in it. Like, I can't lie.
Me too. I love Keke Palmer, and that would have been really not that like I think that would have gotten a really interesting group of people into a show like Gypsy.
Yeah.
That probably would never go see Gypsy.
Yes, this is true. That would have been a huge get. I wonder why there was so much gossip online. Like, you saw it too, right?
Yeah. I'm here for them casting Disney Channel stars in Broadway shows. Corbin Bleu is so talented. Like, sign me up.
I love Corbin Bleu.
Yeah.
Y'all know. But I wonder if maybe Keke's going to come in something else. Like, because I'm like, why were people like convinced she was going to be in it? Is it because she's going to be in something else?
Maybe.
So this is all casted though. Like there's not a chance that she could play something else. She would have been one of the daughters, right? If
I
Kiki
think
were to come in.
so. I feel like
Okay.
she's not gonna have a smaller part than that. So yeah.
Dang. I just hate that. I wish. Anyways, it's fine. I'm fine. Joy Woods is gonna slay. But
It doesn't start for a little bit though.
performances begin November 21st. Opening night is December 19th. This is going to be huge, guys. This is going to be huge. I'm excited to just see Gypsy because I wasn't familiar with the show at all until all of this came out, and then I familiarized myself, and now I'm hella into it.
Did you watch the Bette Midler version?
I watched like each version, like Patti LuPone and Bette Midler.
Which
watched
one
them
did you like better?
Well, I just watched them like a few clips on YouTube. I don't think I have a preference. I didn't watch it through that lens.
The Bette Midler movie version is really good. Really good.
Okay.
Really good.
Would you recommend? Should I watch it or should I go in blind?
I think you should watch it first. I think you'll like it more. I think you'll like Gypsy more if you watch it first. I find with Golden Age musicals, if you're more familiar with the piece, you'll enjoy it more. Also, this is another great kid-friendly show about kids with a lot of kids in it. There's because like Baby June.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of kids in it. My friend, shout out, literally, I haven't spoken to him in years, Josh Brogg from middle school, was in a regional production of Gypsy when we were in middle school, starring the one and only Tova Feldsha.
Crazy.
Who played Leah Michelle's mom in Funny Girl last year.
Crazy. I love your connection.
He played the newsboy, and it was crazy, and everyone from school went. It was like so cool. So shout out.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Okay, Slay. So Gypsy casting, we finally have our entire cast. This has been so highly anticipated, and it's Joy Woods and Jordan Tyson. Slay. I'm really excited for Jordan because I just feel like this is going to skyrocket her career.
Absolutely. And it's just going to continue to skyrocket Joy Woods' career. Now, also her stepping out of Gypsy, her stepping out of Ragtime was kind of the...
Yes. And we have to talk about the fact that they're both leaving the Notebook, and like we have Continue the thought.
Because she's the Ragtime thing when she pulled out, and then Joaquina came in.
Which like
so excited,
with
so
Joaquina
excited.
Kulikongo, queen. I will probably like. I'm more motivated to see Ragtime now because she is my queen. I.e. Paradise Square.
I actually like need to go see Ragtime. Like that's one of my favorite musicals.
So I actually don't know Ragtime, which always like stuns people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely need to see it.
My God, I freaking love Ragtime.
Yeah, I will be seeing that for sure. And yeah, everybody was kind of shook because Joy Woods is now leaving the Notebook early, and it's just kind of like I feel like the Notebook's falling apart. Like
and
it can't
really
end
sad.
on a like good note. They're like just kind of withering away while they're closing.
I think it's going to tour really well though, because it's a really known property.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know. I think it's like such a beautiful show. Everyone who I know who has seen it has loved it. Like I don't really know anyone who like hasn't like been obsessed with the Notebook. Were you not?
No.
Oh, right. We talked about this. So I think the thing with the
like
Notebook is like if you don't like subtle, soft, sad music. Like I love Phoebe Bridgers. Like I love Lana Del Rey.
Mm-hmm.
I love emo Lorde.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, soft pop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I loved The Notebook.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, you know what I mean?
I wanted it to be a musicale.
Right.
I wanted it to be Hollywood, baby.
Right.
Like, that's my thing. And it wasn't that. And I was really surprised. But the talent was insane. I love the talent. I love everybody who's in it.
It's definitely for like the indie
show was
music
not
girlies.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't think it's just for them, but I think if you like indie music, you'd be more inclined to like the show. Like,
so are you surprised that Joy Woods is like departing early in order to be in Gypsy and stuff?
no.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's smart that she's departing when she is, because I think rehearsals for Gypsy probably don't start for another week or two after she leaves. So girly pop needs a break.
She deserves a break.
She needs a break. She needs to be able to sleep till 10:30 for 2 weeks and like chill out and just like sit in her apartment and bed rot.
Yeah.
And honestly, if she left the Notebook a week after this being announced, I'd be okay with that, because I would just be like, girl needs a break. She's been working overtime and blessed and working overtime, and she needs to rest. She needs to rest.
She's about to be in Gypsy, you guys. Like,
right.
She's got bigger fish to fry.
She needs to rest her precious voice, and we need to give her grace. So,
amen.
Joy Woods, leave the Notebook whenever you want. If you wake up tomorrow morning and say you don't want to do it anymore, I would support you.
Can we talk about something controversial?
Go for it.
I'm really scared to say this. Okay, so Ryan Vasquez, he had the option to either stay in The Outsiders, stay in Water for Elephants, or go to The Notebook. He chose The Notebook. Do you think he is regretting his decision?
I don't know.
I've seen Ryan Vasquez be Ryan Vasquez, and I don't think he's the kind of person to regret a decision like that. Like, I'm sure he's very happy, but the show's closing. Like, that sucks. And he had his pick of the litter, quite literally. So
I don't know. I think there's probably a lot of gratitude.
I think so too.
Because I bet he played Brent's part, right?
Yes.
So I think there's probably a lot of gratitude between
Daryl.
him and Brent. And then also he probably feels really grateful to be part of The Notebook and taking it to Chicago first.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he's probably this is a really special piece that I'm really proud of.
Okay, good.
And I think it's still really highlighted his talent. And so I think he's going to go on to other great things.
And I do think that these songs in The Notebook are going to be a part of the great American Broadway songbook. Truly, Leave the Light On is so good. My Days is so good. They are now in the fabric of Broadway musicals. So he has that to be proud of originating those songs. But I just can't. If I were him, I'd be dang.
No, me
I
too.
Messed up.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But
it is what it is. Can't go back now. I'm sure he's not regretting it. I'm sure he's not. But, there is a world in which he could come join The Outsiders. Do not take Brent's place. Brent stays. But Ryan, I think that he could be Daryl eventually. I think he could only be Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl. But also, I feel there's going to be some other great role that's just going to come in.
Of course, he's Ryan Vasquez. Plus, he was doing, whenever the D23 thing, the convention, he was in the Greatest Showman song. So I'm
That's a hint. That's a hint.
Yeah, is he working on being Hugh Jackman, being P.T. Barnum in Greatest Showman musicale?
Which, by the way, is going to eat. That music is primed for Broadway.
Passing and Paul, baby. It's going to be good. Okay, Slay, let's get into our last little tidbit. You guys know I have to talk about the fact that we finally got our venue. I say finally, it's not literally in almost a year. We got our venue for the Tony Awards 2025. Holy crap. I'm already talking about Tony Awards 2025.
I'm so happy that it's back at Radio City.
Okay. Here's the dealio. It's back at Radio City. Last year was at Lincoln Center. The year before, it was at United Palace Theater. I loved when it was at United Palace because I just thought it was a really awesome place to hold it. And I was out on the street, watching from afar. And it was all, locals, just, looking on. Last year at Lincoln Center, it was Broadway people, trying so hard to get close. And it's, and it was, strictly, heavily, what's the word? People were not allowed to wait around because it's in a really busy area and stuff. But at United Palace, it was just kind of the reins were taken off. And I really liked that. And also at Lincoln Center, a lot of people like us didn't get to actually be on the carpet because they said it was too small. But that's never been an issue before. So I'm happy it's not back at Lincoln Center for that reason in particular, that we have more of a chance to be able to be on the carpet and do interviews this year.
Yes. Yes. Also, I want to go this year. I want to go.
I think it's your year.
Meta and CVS, I've been waiting for that invite. I think this year is going to be my year.
I think it is. We're going to manifest it right here.
We're going to manifest it.
I think it is. I mean, I went. You can certainly go for sure. And if it's at Radio City, it's a huge theater, so they're going to have more seats to fill. And it's been there this is going to be its 21st year to be at Radio City, and I've never heard the negativity like I did at Lincoln Center. So many people like us were just really frustrated by the behind the scenes. I was just happy to be there, girly. I was not mad. I was I don't have anything to compare this to. I'm happy. But that was the chatter behind the scenes of how frustrated people were with the way it was operating at Lincoln Center. So I'm happy they're not making the same mistake. And hopefully it's going to be amazing at Radio City.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible.
But it is going to be really busy. I would have preferred it be at United Palace because it's a big theater and it's out of the way. Radio City is in the heart of Midtown. So
it'll be
the streets are going to be packed. You're not going to really be able to watch from the sidelines as much this year. Which is sad for the girlies. But anyway, Slay. First bit of Tony news, you guys. We don't know what date the cutoff is going to be. The cutoff for eligibility is yet for the Broadway shows. So we're waiting on hearing that. And we don't know if it's going to be a 2-part broadcast. Previously, they've done like an act 1 and an act 2, which is cute. And I mean, I've kind of enjoyed that.
I liked
They haven't announced it if that's going to be the case yet. We don't know the host. So that is all still to come, you guys. But this is our first piece of Tony news.
Heck yeah, it is.
First of many. Okay, guys, that wraps it all up. Josh, anything else you want to mention?
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. You're welcome anytime.
Oh, of course.
Plug your things. Tell them where to find you.
At @JoshRosen_ on Instagram and TikTok. We do talk about all sorts of things. And there are some more surprises coming up involving Lindsey that you guys are going to find out about very, very soon.
Oh my God. Ah! I'm excited.
Yes.
While we're plugging big things, you guys, the interview of a lifetime is coming up next week. So I just want you to prepare yourself mentally and physically now. Get excited. Josh, do you want to like give them a hint as to who it is without being too obvious? Because anytime I give a hint, it's way too obvious.
I don't know how to give a hint without it being obvious.
Like make it so vague.
It's like so huge to the point where like you're going to need a vomit bag next to you because you're going to be so emotionally overwhelmed and overstimulated and excited. And you're going to be like, I literally have to throw up right now. So,
yes.
Yeah.
That was perfect. You guys get excited for next Tuesday. It's going to be iconic. I don't even know what else to say. You can find me at @FromTheMezzanine_podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Please leave me a rate and review wherever you are listening right now. I literally love you for it. And sometimes almost always give shout outs whenever my lovely listeners leave me reviews on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. And I'll see you next Tuesday, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on, Josh.
Thank you for having me.
You're the best. Okay, guys. Bye.